Here we go. Showtime. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Welcome. There's more people coming, but welcome. Getting ready to start here. You guys are a little early. That's okay. I like it. I always try to be early too. Just so you know, I have everybody's camera off. I'm going to ask you to mute yourselves too. In fact, I'm just going to mute y'all. Use the chat if you want, but hey, Joe, I'm going to turn your camera off. This is, it's not my typical, in case you guys are curious. Usually I have people on camera with me on these Zoom calls, but obviously this is a class. It's called Grow and Excel. I'm just going to wait a couple minutes for people to show up, and I'm actually going to get started because there's a ton to go over. I don't have any fluff time built into this. If it's 60 minutes only, then I gotta get this thing rolling. And the other thing about this is I am actually going to record this, obviously. So I'm going to start that right now too. Oh, I already got it recording. Cool. Okay. So it is recording, it looks like, which is good. That's what I need, because otherwise I have to record it again and do this twice. I'd rather just do it once. So hopefully everybody can see. If you are not able to see my screen, hit me in the chat room and let's figure out what's going on, because I need you guys to be able to see this thing. Now would I say that though, I gotta find the chat. Where the heck is the chat room at? There it is. All right, so can you guys see the screen? All right, we got a couple that can say yes, so that's super cool. Welcome. I'm actually going to do something. That's my family right there. Pay no attention to that, the man behind the mask. I got Joe on the line. We just launched this yesterday publicly. Joe had a different website, but he paid me to create this, and I'm kind of proud of it, and he's excited about it. So if you run like a retail type of a business and you need some, not finance, let's say payment options, and Joe, the finance guy, can help you. Anyways, it was kind of cool because he went from a GoDaddy single page website to having a ton of stuff. So this is kind of what I do on the side in case you were curious, but you're not here for that. So I'm going to get right into it. Welcome to Grow and Excel. My name is Ira Bowman. If you don't know who I am, I don't know why you're here, but I appreciate you being here. And for everybody that is here, thank you so much for coming on. Today is an interesting class because I typically do one-on-one coaching, and I've done one-on-one coaching for quite a while. It's called Bowman Coaching. I have a page, obviously, on LinkedIn, and I have a website, irabowman.com. And so typically what I would do is I would teach this class to you one-on-one, and I would ask you some exploratory questions to figure out what it is that you're trying to do. Are you a job seeker? Are you a sales rep? Are you a business owner? Are you a recruiter looking for candidates? I mean, I would ask you these kind of questions. And the reason why is some of the answers to those questions and what you're trying to do would affect the direction with which I would steer you on LinkedIn. However, today, to make it a lot less expensive for everybody, you know, so normally an hour with me is $100, just so you know. So if you guys decide that, hey, you know what, I really like the information that you presented, but I want a deeper dive and I want you to actually pay attention to me specifically, then, you know, you can reach out to me for this coaching, one-on-one coaching. It's $100. But this will basically save you $80 because everything I'm going to show you is something that I would eventually get to in a coaching session for sure. These are like the foundations of how I grew my network. How did I go from 1,500 followers and connections on LinkedIn in 2018, May of 2018 to be specific, to 150,000 plus today? Well, this is how I did it. So that's the class. It is being recorded. So if you are here and you would still like a copy of the recording, go ahead and reach out to me. All of you got an individual email from me, so you have my email address. But in case for some reason don't or you forgot, you can come to irabowman.com. You can come to the contact me page, and there's a form on here. It's going to spin for a second because I'm recording. But you come down here and you can fill this out and hit send. That goes directly to my email box. Okay, so anybody in the world can reach me anytime they want that way. Okay, now Grow and Excel. This is the class. There is this was a little bit I used for promo. Said, you know, do you need a job, want to build sales, looking for investors, searching for candidates, or want to build your brand? If you answered yes to any of those, you are in the right spot. Okay. Somebody left and is coming back. Interesting. Okay. Try not to leave, guys, because I'm notoriously bad at checking to see if people are waiting in the waiting room. So just so you know, that's just who it is. But if you want this recording, let me know. Okay. These are the people that it will help. On LinkedIn, everything you do is affected by your network size. A lot of you don't understand that. I get asked almost every day, Ira, why would I want to build my network? I would rather develop really strong relationships with the smaller group that I have. Great. And you also would like to live in obscurity. That's the smart aleck answer, but that's the truth. Quality and quantity are not mutually exclusive items. Do you understand that? You can have quality and you can have quantity. In fact, I challenge any of you to find anybody on LinkedIn anywhere that interacts and engages with more people every single day than I do. I remember your names, your jobs, your struggles. The more you share with me, the more I know. And I have bigger networks than everybody in the room. Okay. In fact, if you add all everybody's networks together, I actually outrank all of you combined. And I'm not trying to brag. It's just the fact. That's, you know what I mean? Like, that's not Ira pounding his chest. I'm just being honest with you, right? I speak to people from LinkedIn every single day. In fact, almost hourly. Okay. You don't have to sacrifice quality for quantity. You can have both. I'm going to teach you how and why throughout the class. Okay. So here's the outline. I'm going to teach you how to set up your profile. And honestly, about half of this is profile setup. And you might be like frustrated halfway through me helping you set up your profile and go, Ira, why are you spending so much time on my profile? Let me tell you why. Because the person who clicks on your profile, you've got 6.5 seconds to catch their attention. And if you don't, they're gone. And guess what? They're never coming back. Okay? They're never coming back. So 6.5 seconds is what you get. You need to have your profile polished, completely polished. And I'm going to spend a lot of time on it, but that's why. Because if you don't do that, the rest of what I tell you is not going to help you. You have to be able to keep them, retain them for more than 6.5 seconds for me to help you build a rapport. And you're not going to build a quality network without a rapport. You understand it all? It's all foundational stuff. Okay. I'm going to teach you about the algorithm. I'm going to teach you about a post to comment ratio, and I'm going to explain what that is. So don't worry. A lot of you probably don't understand that yet, but that's okay. Smart tags. What are they? How do they work? How do you use them? I'm going to teach you. Same thing with hashtags. And smart tags and hashtags are the extreme opposites of each other, but they work in ways to help bring you in everybody, the people you know and the people you don't know. I'm going to teach you that, okay? Groups, how to use groups, how not to use groups. I'm going to teach you about pods and tell you why I hate them. Don't ever use a pod. I'll teach you why. I'm going to teach you the pitfalls of LinkedIn. These are faux pas, if you will, another way to say it, okay? And then we'll get into summary, and there will be time for questions. And at that time, I will let you pop on video if you want. Just remember that this is being recorded. So if you pop on video, I'm going to use your likeness because I'm sending this to everybody who can't make it today. In fact, there's more people who can't make it that paid than are in the room, right? It's ridiculous how many people signed up and said, I can't make it. Can you email me the link? I'm like, yeah, sure. Okay. So anyways, there's a lot of that going on, but it's totally cool. The other thing, okay, so well, let's just start. Profile setup. Number one thing, don't get stuck under the radar. So this is really a rookie mistake, but a lot of people when they join LinkedIn, they think about Facebook or they think about some of these other social media sites where they're sharing private stuff and like you see it's pictures of your kids, it's what you're doing after hours, and you don't want your boss to see it or you don't want people you don't know to see it. Totally understand, but LinkedIn is not that place, okay? LinkedIn is the place where you are trying to be seen, to be discovered, to get your message out. You need to open up all your security settings. Just open them up. Don't put anything on LinkedIn that you don't want the world to know. Keep it that simple. Open is key. Don't miss the opportunity to be seen and connect with those who come across your profile in their feed or notifications as antisocial by limiting who can see them in your profile. You've all done it, right? You're going down your feed. Somebody made a comment. You look at it and it's a gray box. Click on it. You can't see their contact info. You can't see nothing about them. They might as well not even be there. Waste of an opportunity. Looking for a job, looking for sales, looking for clients, looking for investors, looking to build your brand. You can't do any of that if they can't see you, right? Don't make a bad first impression by showing up as a gray box. Now, your profile photos, a lot of you need help with this, and I'm going to tell you that you can fix everything I'm going to show you with a profile photo, you can do with a selfie. Selfies are okay as long as you follow my rules, and here they are. This is an example of a good one. Yours doesn't have to look like this. It's just this one is, it does everything I tell you here. Shoulders and up, okay? Firm your shoulder line up. Smile. He's got a smile. I have the world's ugliest teeth. I still smile too. Get over yourself. Show me some teeth. Business attire. We are here for business, so let's dress like it. Now, your culture might be polo shirts or whatever you wear for business. That's what you should wear in your photo. Like if you're going to come to a networking event or you're going to go to a business meeting, how you dress is how you dress. So I understand there's business casual all the way up to suit and tie. The answer is, like I wear collared shirts every day. You very rarely will see me even on a Saturday in a t-shirt. So in my profile photos, you're going to see me wearing a buttoned up shirt. Now I don't wear ties a lot for business, but as you can, well, you can't see, hang on a second. This is me. And this is my family, by the way. If you know me from church, I wear suit and ties to church. So I do wear ties. So a lot of times you'll see me like some of my photos and I'll have my suit and tie on. Totally fine, right? Overdressed is better than underdressed, okay? Business attire, looking into the camera, that's important for rapport building. That's actually a psychology trick. I don't have time to explain it now, but just make sure you're looking into the camera. If you look away from the camera, you can be considered aloof or antisocial. It doesn't help you. I don't have time to explain it further than that because I got to keep ticking. I'm already behind. Okay. Here's an example of a bad one. Now, this should be pretty obvious why these things are bad, but just in case you are not the sharpest tool in the shed, I spell it out for you. Zoom in. I said shoulders up, no sunglasses in the hair, right? Now, there's a few people like Kirsty Bonner who can get away with it. Why? Because she's basically famous, but you're not. So don't do that. Don't show up in, shorts and tank tops unless look, if you're running a landscape business and that's what you wear to work, then okay, right? That's your business attire. Lacking professional background. Look, I have kids. I just showed you mine, but they're not in my profile photo and they shouldn't be in yours either. Okay. Again, if you guys have questions, you can go ahead and type them in the chat room. Cover photos are prime real estate. The number one neglected area on all of LinkedIn is the cover photo. People are not using it or they're not using it correctly. Do you remember what I said about LinkedIn, your social media profile? If you don't have it set up correctly, you're going to lose people in the first, few seconds, right? You got 6.5 seconds. Let me show you mine. This is mine. I'm not showing you some hypothetical. That's mine. Why is mine this? Well, this is what I do for a living. This spells it out. Visually, I'm showing you, and I'm using words, right brain, left brain. I'm trying to attract either. Why do I put the words on the right-hand side? I don't have time to go into it completely, but when you get onto a smart device, an app, you're going to see a little bit different view than you see when you're on your desktop. But none of them cover up the right-hand side. Your cover photo is prime real estate. The right-hand side is the most valuable part of it. Make sure you do succinctly 2 or 3 words, describe what it is that you do. I sell graphics and printers. I was actually just put on furlough. Now I don't know what I do yet. I know that sounds weird, but it's the truth. Okay. But tell people what you do. Now, here's some notes for you. Right brainers, left brainers, I think. Anyways, whatever. The people who like words better. Use an image that helps tell your story to communicate the message. Make sure you include your website or contact info. That's big, especially for you entrepreneurs out there. Sales professionals, I encourage you to stand next to or use your products. Again, I'm standing next to a printer and I'm standing next to graphics. Why? I want them to associate me with that. I want you to be associated with what you do. That's it. Okay. Incorporate your hashtag. If you don't have a hashtag, we're going to talk about hashtags, but if you have one, you should incorporate it. Like mine is Ira, Project Help You Grow. Let's grow together. I'm here to help. I don't use them. Frankly, I use them, but not in my cover photo. And frankly, it's because, you know, I've built them up. So I've got a sizable following, thousands of followers for each of them, right? If you don't have that yet, then you need to. Now, you don't necessarily use Photoshop like I do. That's okay. You can go to canva.com. Anybody can do it. Sign up for a free account, and it's pretty much drag and drop. If you need a lesson on this, I do have a video on my YouTube channel. Go there and find it, how to use Canva. I'll teach you. Or go to Canva. They have some tutorials too, right? But use Canva. It's a free resource, okay? You can also hire a designer, whether that's somebody via Fiverr. You can hire me. I'm a little bit more expensive than the Fiverr people because I charge $100 an hour. But, you know, if you want it, I can do it. And I've done it for quite a few people. In fact, I've done it for people that are on this call. How about that? Okay, cover photo, super important. Do not neglect your profile photo or your cover photo. If you're going to, you might as well jump off the call because you're wasting everything else. You're wasting your time. You have to have a good one. And you honestly should be refreshing it relatively frequently. I update mine usually every 3 to 4 months, just as a benchmark for you, okay? And it does make a difference. When you're building your network, you need to give people a reason to come back and a reason to share and, you know, let them get to know you, and photos do it. They say a picture is better than 1,000 words, right? That's why. Okay, so time-wise, we're doing okay. Profile section is critical. If your name is common or unique, why does it matter? Well, let me explain this. A lot of you have heard the expression SEO, but you don't necessarily know what it means. It stands for SEO, stands for search engine optimization. It's hard to read the graphics. I apologize for that, but that's why I'm reading them out loud to you too. Okay, so I could try to blow them up. Let me know if that's better. Okay, so if you have a common name or unique name, why does it matter? Here's why it matters, because Ira Bowman on LinkedIn is not a common name. There's a few of us, believe it or not, but if you search for Ira Bowman, you're going to find me because I have the largest name, right? The largest network. But there's other people that could be found. Now, if another Ira Bowman wanted to jump me in the list, what they could do is capitalize the IRA, capitalize Ira, and now they would go to the top. Why? Because LinkedIn promotes capitalized letters over lowercase letters. Sounds crazy, but it's a trick. So if your name is Joe Smith, and when someone puts in Joe Smith, there's like 50 pages of Joe Smiths and they never find you, you can leapfrog all of them by capitalizing Joe. That makes sense? I hope it does. Okay. You can also differentiate your name. Like I was a part of SPN. So for the longest time when I was building my network, my name on LinkedIn was Ira Bowman SPN. And that was a tool that I used to help be discovered because it gave me another search criteria. So if somebody was searching SPN, I came up. And there for a while, I had Project Help You Grow as part of my name. And anyways, it's just Ira Bowman now. But that's the reasoning behind it. So again, if you guys have questions, go ahead and ask questions in the comment. I am monitoring the comments. Why and how does this help? Because, well, I just kind of explained this, right? So I'm gonna keep moving. But to grow, you must be found. The way you set up your name is important. I know it seems crazy, like your name is your name, but the way you set it up can help you, it cannot help you, or it can hurt you. You want to be on the first page of the search results. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, I'm gonna scoot this over a little bit. Sorry, it's not as pretty. If you guys want to see the pretty, here, let me help you. Okay, so I made these pretty slides for you guys, but I want you to be able to read it. So hopefully you can read that a little bit better. Okay, so headline. Do you guys know what I mean by headline? Let me show you what I'm talking about with headline. So here's me. This is my name. This is what we were just talking about. So that's the name part. And I didn't capitalize Ira, but I could. And it would actually help me, or could help me, if I was not the first page. Okay, so if anybody searches Ira Bowman right here and I don't come as first, let me know. I should, but if I don't, let me know. And I'll capitalize the Ira, okay? And then I would. But this is what I'm talking about with the headline. Now right here, you get 120 characters. This is the, well, for SEO, this is the second most important thing, but for overall, it's the fourth most important thing, okay? So in order of importance, your profile picture is the #1 most important thing. It's got to be open. You got to be shoulders up. You got to be looking at the camera. You got to be smiling, all that stuff, okay? I put my name in there, fancy. Woohoo. I also made it black and white just to be different, okay? Because that is something visually different, and that's a good thing, okay? I've got my cover photo set up there on my magic words. I'm standing in front of my project. Great. So that's #2 most important thing. #3 is your name. The reason why is because when someone does a search, this is how they're going to start to find you. They're either going to search for you by your name or they're going to search for you by what you do. And that's actually most common, especially when you have a small network. So when I was obscure and had 1,520 connections, how did people find me? Well, a lot of times they didn't, to be honest, because I didn't know all this stuff back then. If I did, I would have had more than 1,520. So let me tell you what I learned that helped me grow. This right here is gold, network gold, okay? When they are searching, you have 120 characters, and the spot that you put stuff, like here is the word graphics, and here is the word founder. LinkedIn weights these words in order of appearance. So here's the deal. If you get into the search column and you start searching for founder, I may not come up first. I probably won't, especially if you don't put one of these other words in. But if you just search the word founder, I will be in the list somewhere, but it probably won't be on the first page. In fact, I probably won't even be on the first 10 pages because y'all probably have founders of companies and stuff, you know, anyways. But eventually I'll be there. But if you were to put the word graphics, because I've got graphics first, you're going to see me much closer to the top. In fact, I should probably be the first result, realistically, if I've done this right. Now, part of that is because I've got some repetition, and I'll teach you that in a second. But this is super important that you understand. Your headline is not your title only, especially if you're a job seeker. Okay, if you're a job seeker, I want you to tell me here what you want to do, not what you do. And I know that runs counter to a lot of people's advice, but forget them. They have small networks and they don't know how to build it. I'm teaching you how to build your network and to get discovered at the same time. Tell me what you want to do. When we come down here into experience, we'll learn what you've done, okay? This is about what you do and what you want to do, not about what you've already done. Unless you're a business owner, maybe you're happy in your current role, then okay, we're gonna put that. But as a job seeker or as somebody who's looking to do something else or to do something new, that's what we're gonna use this for, looking forward. Same thing in the about section, which we'll get to in a second, okay? Let me get back to this. So on the website, you'll see a snippet of the headline. You get 120 characters in total. But if you go like onto your phone and you look at Ira Bowman's profile, you're just going to see a little bit of my 120 characters. You're not going to see them all. So that's another reason why it's important. It's important because the first word is weighted more than the second, which is weighted more than the third, all the way down. And you're going to get cut off. The longer your name is, the less you see on the apps. So if you have like a super long last name, then you might not even see any of that, which is a major bummer. But there's nothing we can do to help that. You could shorten your name, abbreviate your name somehow if you want, but most people don't want to do that. They want to have their full name on. So there you go. Suggestion: if you don't invent crazy things in your job title. Let me explain what that is. Okay, so in here, You don't want it. So the whole value of the headline is for SEO. What are people looking for that you want to be found for? That's what goes here. Do you understand? So like if I am wanting to be a social media manager, then I should have social media manager in here. Now I have media, so I would actually come up in social media, and I have social media right there. I would definitely come up. You understand what I'm saying? But if you have been a director of marketing and you want to get out of that role and you want to get more into like the C level or whatever, you need to make sure that you have that in your headline. Because when people who don't know you are searching for that, you won't show up otherwise. And this is about being discovered. This right here is critical. Now, the other thing that's important to note, I'm skipping ahead a little bit, but we're starting to get lower on time, so I want to make sure I cover all this. In your title, make sure you put more than just your title. These are keywords that when there's a tiebreaker on this, so let's say you and 3 other people have exactly the same headlines. Doesn't happen very often, but let's say you do. How does the algorithm, which I'm going to teach you what that is in a minute, but how does it determine who gets ahead of whom? Well, how it does it is in your job search titles. That's number 5, the most important thing on your profiles. So in order of operations, most important is your profile photo, then your cover photo, then your name, then your headline, then your job experience titles. Okay, so those 5 things, make sure you're paying attention to all of them. Any questions, again, let me know. Okay, so don't invent crazy things because people aren't going to be searching for the crazy, goofy, unique titles. Like don't put purple squirrel or wizard of finance or guru of digital marketing, right? Don't do that because people aren't looking for that. If you put guru of digital marketing, you're not going to come up first when somebody looks for digital marketing. You're going to be buried behind C's and C's and C's of people who put digital marketing first and didn't use the word guru. People don't search for gurus, by the way. It's the dumbest title on LinkedIn. Don't use the term guru. Just you're wasting your time. Okay. The about section. If you're not familiar with the about section, this is honestly one of my favorite parts of the profile, but it really doesn't make much difference in being discovered. This is the very first thing that you're doing really to build rapport with people. Here you're like casting a vision. So again, in this section, what you're not doing is you're not being discovered. Here you're helping to tell a story and let people know like, okay, for the next 5 years or the rest of my career, this is what I see myself doing. Paint that picture. Also in here, I recommend that you quantify any skills that help support what you want to do. It doesn't matter if you won Salesman of the Year 3 years in a row. If you want to get out of sales, you wouldn't put that there. But if you wanted to be a sales manager, you might want to quantify, hey, in the last 3 years, I've won Salesperson of the Year at my company. And then you might want to even give them some statistics to back it up. Like I increased my, year over year growth by 77% or whatever. Okay. So think about that. Again, I'm going to blow this up so you guys can read it a little bit better. Okay. Hopefully you can read it just fine. Quantification and storytelling. Think about your story from the perspective of the target audience. Job seekers, you need to quantify your success and demonstrate through your story your ability and experience to recruiters, business owners, and or hiring managers. The composition needs to be interesting but relevant to the job you're searching for. Again, I don't care what you did. If it's not relevant to the role you're trying to get, then it doesn't need to be in there. But you want to build a rapport. You want to let them know why you're qualified to do the things that you're trying to do. Okay. For entrepreneurs, you want to capture the attention of your investors and your clients. So tell the story of how your company was formed, share highlights and quantify successes to date, cast your vision into the future. If you can tell a quick little story about, how somebody used your product and it, made their world better, that's a great place to put it, right? Warm and fuzzies. Sales professionals, you need to make sure to quantify how your products are helping to quantify somebody either save time or money, to attract new prospects and soften them to your sales pitch when you meet them. It's really just, this is soft selling area for you guys. Show them why they want to meet with you because you're going to pitch them when you get there, right? It'll help with that process. That's the about section. Now attachments, this is relatively new, okay? in LinkedIn, this has been around, I think, for about 6 months. But a picture does say 1,000 words. Okay, your role will shape what you should share. Job seekers, entrepreneurs, and salespeople, you guys are going to share different things. So job seekers, you're going to share, you're not going to share, number one mistake on LinkedIn for job seekers. They keep trying to share their resume in the attachments, and they're costing themselves a job. Because here's what happens. Recruiters go, awesome, don't need to waste my time talking to this guy. Already got his resume. Going to pull it down, going to run it through the ATS. It's not going to keyword match, and you're out. 100% of the time, you're out. You just cost yourself a shot at the job. You won't even get an interview because you won't ATS match. If you don't understand that, you need to go to Project Help You Grow and read my blog. I'll teach you about why. I don't have time for that now, okay? Do not share your resume. Do not share a cover letter. If you do, jump off the call because you're wasting your time, all right? Why? The ATS, that's why. What do you want to share? You want to share awards. You want to share certifications. You want to share photos showing you in your element. Like if you've given a presentation, if you've won a pitch, if you've done work for a big client in the past, share pictures of that. Build yourself up, not your resume, not your cover letter, everything else. Yes. Okay. Have a question, send me a message. Even if you're not a client, I'll help you answer that question for you. Okay. Should I share this? Should I share this? I'll answer it for you for free. Okay. Entrepreneurs, what do you want to share? You want to share company financials. You want to share product specs. You want to share marketing pieces, videos, GIFs, anything creative that helps tell the story. It's basically in addition to the cover photo. Okay. So anything that wasn't quite quote cover photo worthy, or you can't share videos on the cover photo, but you can share PDFs, you can share PowerPoints, you can share videos, and you should. Okay. Sales professionals, you want to sell, you want to share brochures, certifications, again, photos with you and your clients, with your products, referral letters from clients. That's great. And by the way, job seekers, you can share referral letters from people you've worked with. That's super strong, especially if they work for large, well-known companies. That's something that you can do. Okay. Yeah. Real life samples of your work. So for example, a few years ago, I used to work in Las Vegas, and I did work in Vegas, for casinos, making big graphics that everybody would see when they were driving up and down 15 or the Strip, right? So you're on Las Vegas Boulevard and you're driving down and you see the MGM or Caesars or whatever you see, you saw my work. I used to have pictures of it everywhere. When I stopped working for that company, I took all that stuff down, right? Anyways, share that stuff, guys. What is the algorithm? I need to back this down just a little bit. Somehow I got way ahead. Where did I go? I'm going the wrong way. Sorry, guys. Give you a headache there. Yep, I'm right here. Okay, what is the algorithm? Sometimes people don't even know what the algorithm is, so I need to share that. I'm missing a slide here. That's okay. All right, what is an algorithm? An algorithm is basically a series of, what's the best way to say it? It's formulas, basically, where they have, it's a complex subset of formulas. When this, then that, if this, then that. And every website, whether it's Google or LinkedIn or YouTube or any place where you can hit search, right? So you fill something in and hit search, has an algorithm. Some of them are simple, some of them are complicated. Sometimes people publish the algorithm rules so you can know what they are. And sometimes, like on LinkedIn, you just have to figure it out. Well, unfortunately on LinkedIn, you have to figure it out. But guess what? You just paid me $20 and I'm giving you the answers for free. So there's things that you can do that make LinkedIn algorithm happy. In other words, they're boosters to get you seen. And there's boat anchors that cost you, they penalize you, right? And you've all kind of figured it out. You just haven't had anybody tell you like all the different things. And that's what I'm about to do. So can you guys see this? I hope you can. Somebody had given me a note that these things are hard to see. So that's why I was blowing it up. Hopefully you can read that. Okay, there are things you can do to make the LinkedIn algorithm happy. And there's things you can do to tip the scale in the other direction. In other words, hurt yourself like a boat anchor. The algorithm loves text-only posts with no hyperlinks. Smart tags are also a huge bonus. Hashtags can also boost a score. Okay, so if we go to my post, okay, I was, you know, putting this up just a few minutes before, you know, the show started, about an hour before the show started, and you can see, you know, in 60 minutes, I got 100 or 1,100 views. That's actually really bad for me. That's not a good score, but LinkedIn algorithm and LinkedIn in general has not been working right because they're working on the platform, so it's a bummer. But I want to show you this as an example. Okay, it's text only. Emojis count as text, which is great because they can help visually stimulate, but they don't penalize you. But go to any of my posts and you pretty much see the correct way to post. And I'm going to talk about how it all works right now. Okay. So we've seen that. Now, these are the notes. I really want you guys to absorb this because this is like when you make posts, you want them to be seen, you want them to be engaged with. This really is rocket fuel for you guys. Okay. So algorithm notes, the fastest way to sync a post is to put in a video. Don't ever put in a video in your posts. The reason why almost every algorithm punishes videos is because the way websites work, the more data is in the website, the slower it is. And Google penalizes websites for being slow. End users leave websites because it's non-responsive. You understand? So everybody hates a slow website. So videos slow websites down. So don't add native videos, okay? Even a video from a link to a YouTube is a much better way to share a video. That's where most people do that, right? So the link has the video live on YouTube, not on LinkedIn. When they play it, they can watch it through LinkedIn, but the data actually resides on the YouTube server. And so it's not as big a penalty. Still a penalty because you have an active link, hyperlink, but not as big a penalty. Okay, we'll get to, I'm going to show you how it all works in a second. Don't worry about that. Okay, so let me blow this up a little bit bigger because I know this gets hard to read. Okay, so the algorithm hates hyperlinks. You know, the hyperlink somewhere along the way insulted the algorithm's mama, made a mama joke, and the algorithm hated it. No, actually what it really is this. A hyperlink is a website address that takes you to somewhere else. So like if I put projecthelpyougrow.com in my post, that's a hyperlink because if you click on it, it would take you to Project Help You Grow. LinkedIn, just like every other website, wants to keep its people on its site and they want you to stay there. So they punish you as an author for giving people what I call escape routes. Don't create an escape route and LinkedIn will help promote you. If you build in escape routes that would take somebody off of their website, they're going to suppress you. Okay, algorithm suppression is a very, very real thing. Photos also reduce the algorithm score. Just like videos, it's more space. That's why you get penalized. It's not that they care about the art. They actually like the art. They just don't like the space that it takes. Okay, you put up a 1 meg file versus a 200K text-only post. You see what I'm saying? So they want to reward you, encourage you for having a text-only post. Okay, less space. Now, too many hashtags or too many smart tags can also hurt you. I'm gonna scoot this over. It's called a boat anchor for your post there, okay? So the reason why is it looks like spam or you're putting up stuff that's irrelevant and the people that you're tagging or the people that you're hashtag searching are not engaging with your post. So LinkedIn's like, well, this person's using the hashtag, you know, come fly with me, and nobody is searching for come fly with me. And so you're not clicking on your post, or you're putting like India in, you know, hashtag India in your post, and nobody from India is clicking on it. Nobody is, you know, when they're going through the hashtag list, India, they're not clicking on your post. It's irrelevant. So LinkedIn starts to figure that out. Like, you know, you're a spammer, and they start to suppress your posts. Your post engagement affects your next post engagement. I don't have time to explain that too deeply, but hopefully you understand. Like if you have a post that does really well, the next one's going to start out really well, and you can go up and down from there. If you have one that bombs, then, you know, it's all about momentum on LinkedIn. Okay. Does that make sense? I hope it does. If you guys have questions, again, hit them in the background. Somebody's asking, Mary Lynn's asking if she can have a copy of the call, the recording. Yes, I addressed that in the beginning. So for anybody who, in fact, I had people waiting in the waiting room for some reason, but for any of you that are on, there's lots of people who weren't able to make it. Just go ahead and ask me for the link if you want it, and I will send it to you, okay? So for the most part, you can also have, this is important to note, I need to figure out how to show this. I just need to back this down a little bit. I need you guys to be able to read this sentence, and I hope you can, okay? For the most part, you can have one active post at a time. So posting your next post signals to the algorithm that you're effectively abandoning the last post, right? It's one conversation at a time. Now, here's some caveats to that rule. You can post in groups and you can post on business pages, and that won't affect your future post. Like if you post as yourself, that won't affect any of those. Now, if you post as yourself and then you go to a group and make a post, that kills your individual post, but it doesn't kill your business page post. So I have Project Help You Grow business page on LinkedIn. I have Bowman Coaching business page on LinkedIn. I have Social Media Concierge, and I have Ira Bowman. So I can effectively make 4 different posts. Those can all interact independently of each other. But my Project Help You Grow group page, I'm in COVID-19, I'm in SPN, I'm in a few different groups, right? I'm in like 37 or 38 groups, okay? If I go to any of those posts and I make a post right now, that will kill my Follow Me Friday post that I made an hour ago. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Okay, let's keep moving. Algorithm analogy. I like this because a lot of times people don't understand, why do I need a big network? Oh my goodness, if I had a nickel for every time I heard that, because people with like, 1,500 people or 300 people always, they want to look down on me because I have 150,000, and they go, Ira, it's impossible for you to engage with 150,000 people. And I go, you're right. I'm still way better off than you are with 300 or 1,500. Okay. They just don't even understand why. But here's the thing. Think of a post like a beach ball. You want to get attention, you make a post. Your post is like a beach ball. You'll get the beach ball in motion towards the sky when you hit the submit button, okay? It's live. You just bounce that ball up in the air. The way you frame the post is going to determine the velocity. In other words, how hard did you hit that ball? Is it going to go up like a rocket ship, 100 miles an hour? Or is it going to just go up a little bit, right? So that's part of this, the velocity. Now, your overall network is going to determine the maximum people who can play in the game. So let's say you've got, an area corded off, and that's the size of your network. So my court is 150,000 plus big because I've built 150,000 plus network between my 30,000 connections and my 150,000 followers. You understand? That's how many people maximum are in my direct network. Now, that doesn't include my second and thirds. We'll get into that in a minute, okay? The ensuing engagement that you get once you post a post, and actually I was talking to Erica Warfield about this just before this, right? So like engagement matters to everybody. It matters to you, it matters to me, it matters to LinkedIn, and your profile score is affected by your engagement rate. Why do I engage on so many posts every day? Why? Because I want to keep my momentum, and I have more momentum than most people, okay? Because I understand how all this works. I study it. The ensuing engagement determines how many players are in the sand playing with you. The frequency of the comments determines when the beach ball will hit the ground and the game. Now, let me put this all together for you real fast. I hit the beach ball, it goes up in the air. If there's nobody else or there's very few people around, that sucker's not going to live in the air very long. It's going to fall and hit the ground, and the game is over. The post dies. But if I have 100 people, it's going to stay up longer. Now, if I have 2,000 people, it's going to stay up even longer. If I have 100,000, it's going to stay up even longer because there's more people to bump it. One mistake a lot of people make is they go, well, I'm from California, or I'm from New York, or I'm from Florida, or I'm from London, I'm from Dubai, I'm from wherever I am, and I only want to connect with people who are either in my field or in my region. I don't want to connect with people from anywhere else. Well, you're short-sighted because when they go to sleep or they're not working, they're not going to engage with you. You understand? And your post is always going to die. One thing that I did early on was I realized that to grow on LinkedIn, I needed to have a significant portion of my network around the globe. And I have people from India that have paid for this session, and I have people from the UK that have paid for this session, and I have people from the UAE who have paid for this session. And you know what I mean? I have network from all over. And the reason why that helps me is when I go to bed, which I don't sleep as much as most of you, but when I do go to bed, my posts still get activity, and that keeps the beach ball in the air. So just think of your post like a beach ball. The more players in the game, the better. The more diversified they are around, right? Like think about, okay, so we said we have 150,000 people in the sandbox, but they're all standing like squished together. That doesn't help. We want them, like spread out. You know what I mean? Like if you're playing a game of volleyball and you got 6 people on each side, you're going to spread those 6 people out. You're not going to have them all like in front on the net. You can have some in the front, some in the back. Sometimes people split up into 3 rows. Sometimes people just have one person in the center, but you're gonna spread out the players. Same idea when you're building your network, okay? So if you want the beach ball to stay in the air longer, build a bigger post. You need to build your network and respond to each comment as it comes up. Now, there's a thing called velocity. I don't have time to get into it because I really spent too much time on this, but here's the idea. The first hour, the very first hour of every time you post, I need you to babysit your post like your life depends on it. Every time somebody comments, I want you to respond, and just trust me on this, respond with an open-ended question. If you don't know what an open-ended question is, let me know and I'll tell you. But, if you guys know, I'm going to keep moving, okay? That'll help you get bigger engagement on your posts. Now, when you create a post, again, this is weird because I'm not showing you the pretty graphics, but I guess I didn't put that in there. That's funny. Okay, so something's missing here. Whatever. Here we go. Creating a post. Regardless of the topic or your role as a job seeker, entrepreneur, or a sales professional, I want you to follow these rules whenever you make a post. Create a post. If you break a rule, it's going to hurt you. And if you follow the rules, it's going to help you. It's really that straightforward. So here's how you compose a post. Now, I'm going to blow this up and I'm going to have to scoot things over, but I want you to be able to read it. Okay? So let's see. Start with a powerful phrase or question. Think of like a headline in a news article, right? It's a headline. It's something that's going to generate some attention. Then you want to have some white space. So again, I'm just going to make this more clear. So you want to have a headline. Here it is, 60 minutes to grow in Excel. Then I'm going to support it after some space. So I make some space. This is another psychology trick, but it's a calming effect. White space calms people down, okay? And then I'm going to support the statement. I'm say it's 20 bucks or whatever. Usually I can have 1 or 2 phrases there, okay? Now I'm going to start going into the meat. When I go into the meat, I'm going to use emojis typically because I'm going to help visually break it up. These are like bullet points. I'm using the emojis of bullet point, basically, okay? Then I've got my smart tags. Then I've got my hashtags. And I'm out. That's my post. No pictures, no links to my website. If you need to put a link or a picture, what you're going to do is say, see link in comments. See the photo in comments. That will help you get much farther than you putting a picture or a website address in your post. Look, if you put a link in your post and only 50 people see it, that's short-sighted. Because you can leave it out of your post, put it in the comment, use the hashtags and the smart tags correctly, and it'll be seen by 5,000 people. And then more people have an opportunity to see the link in the comments. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, here's another trick. This is how you jump a lot of people fast. Once your post dies tomorrow, go in, edit your post, and add the link at that point in the body. That way, if 10 people come and see it later, they have an opportunity to find the link in the post. So if LinkedIn is going to kill your post anyways, once it's dead, then you can add stuff. No penalties there. Again, this is master level stuff. I hope you're able to keep up. Okay. So that's what all this says. Now, start with a powerful phrase, add some white space, support your title. So think subtitle. So it's title, space, subtitle. Then you want to do some more space. Then for the main body, you're gonna tell people what you're doing, right? Use emojis if you want. Then you're gonna either have a call to action or a question. I usually don't recommend that you do both. So this is either or, okay? Smart tag people. I'm going to share with you in just a second what smart tags are. If you don't know, I'll share with you in hashtags. We're going to talk about that too. So again, I'm running short on time, so I got to speed this along. Now, pitfalls. What don't you do in a post? The number one thing, now look, I've started here and worked my way up, right? Videos, don't do it. Don't do a video. Don't do a link to a video. Just don't put videos. Say, see comments for video, add it. You cannot add a video to your post later. So you just can't do it. But you can add the URL to the YouTube later. Again, after the beach ball falls to the ground, then you can add the link to the beach ball or to the video. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Okay. Do not ever use profanity or mean-spirited messages on LinkedIn. Even if you win the battle, you will lose the war. So many people see what you're saying that don't ever put a comment or don't ever hit an engagement. Every one of my posts gets seen by thousands, 10,000s, hundreds of thousands, millions of people. Every single one of them. I've had several posts break 1 million views. I've never had a single post have 10,000 comments. More people see what you do than let you know they see it. If you are racist, if you are homophobic, if you are a zealot, if you are a sexist, whatever, you need to, first of all, probably see somebody about that. Get that straightened away. But in the meantime, shut your mouth, right? Be nice. You kiss your mama with that mouth, right? This is professional. This is not a dating site. This is not a place to come and spew radical statements. You understand? My cousin liked that. He said, you kiss your mama with that mouth? Anthony's awesome. He's my cousin. He's showing up as Flory for some reason. I don't know why, but that's my cousin Anthony. Anyways, okay. So here's the thing. Keep it professional. If you need to talk to me about that, then let's talk about that on the side. That's all I'm going to say. Misspelled words. Now, this is actually funny because Erica and some of the others who know me on this call know I have dyslexia and I misspell crap all the time. I can't help myself. I try. But let me show you a trick. This is a trick that I do. I will always have a session of Microsoft Word open, and I will spell stuff in here and then copy and paste it over to LinkedIn or Facebook or whatever I'm doing, right? I have to spell check everything. So the other thing that I've gotten here, and I'm just going to show you this, like I've got a list of hashtags that I use and some other different things, right? So it's just like copy paste kind of stuff. You can use your tools to help speed things up, basically. So misspelled words will hurt you, especially some of you like job seekers out there, and some, like if you're in that world, you need to be very careful. Irrelevant or too many hashtags, we'll get into that in a second. Hyperlinks, we've already talked about. Don't use hyperlinks. And I don't care, like even if you're hyperlinking from your post to your article on LinkedIn, they don't differentiate between where it's pointing. They just assume if you have a hyperlink, it's bad. They don't, like I used to think I could hyperlink to my articles and I was doing myself a favor and I realized I was still hurting myself. So anyways, that is that. Now I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this because I am running short on time. I'm just going to tell you right now, I'm going to go over the hour. And if you have to leave, you have to leave. I will send you the video if you ask for it. Okay. But I don't want to rush through this. I still got a lot of slides to go and I want to make sure everybody gets their money's worth. Okay. I told you I was going to teach you how I grew and apparently I can't do that quite in an hour. So here we go. Comment to content ratio. What do I mean? What activities are you doing on LinkedIn when you're on LinkedIn? A lot of people are spending a lot of time creating or trying to create this magnificent, interesting, funny, dynamic post. And I'm going to tell you that content on LinkedIn is not king. Content is queen. Comments are king. What does that mean? If I had to choose, if I could only do, I'm losing my hand here for some reason. There we go. Okay. Virtual backgrounds. You gotta love them. My hands are all there. Mostly there. Anyways, okay. So on this side, it's make a post. On this side, it's write comments. 80% of my time on LinkedIn needs to be making comments. On my posts, on other people's posts, doesn't really matter. I need to be commenting. You see me comment far more than I create posts, although I do make a post every day, at least one. Okay. But 80% of the time, I need to be commenting. Why? Because I'm trying to build my network. I need to be seen by people who don't already see me. So I want you to go to people like me, people like Kirsty Bonner, people like Gary Vee. It doesn't matter who, in a sense. It matters their network size. Here's what I mean. I love my cousin to death, right? He's building his network. It's awesome. But if you go comment on one of his posts, it's going to be seen by not very many people because he's, still growing his network. Go to Gary Vee. Gary Vee's got, 4 million whatever followers, and every one of his posts has thousands of comments. That's where you want to be. But you don't want to just be there, because after you do that for a little bit, you're going to find out that a lot of those people are the same people. You know what I mean? You want to be seen by a variety of people. Now, we're going to get into groups and stuff in a second, so I'm going to teach you how to find more people, but that's one of the ways that you can do it. So comment in groups, comment on people's posts, try to find people that have really large networks and basically live in their comments. Like I would suggest coming to my posts every day because I'm going to post every day. Like even people like Kirsty Bonner, I love her to death. She's one of my best LinkedIn friends there is. In fact, she's one of my best friends, period. And she's not on LinkedIn this week. You may not have noticed. But if you were only going to Kirsty Bonner's post this week, you'd be dead in the water because she's not on it. She took the week off. We all need self-care. This is her week for that. So have a multitude of people that you use so that when they are on vacation, you're not dead in the water. Does that make sense? Hope it does. Okay. Also, make sure that you're posting comments that are appropriate. And if somebody's trying to engage you and what do I call them? My mind just froze on me. Trolls. If you find a troll, delete the troll, ignore the troll, block the troll. Do not engage with trolls. It will not help you. Okay? That's what I have to say about that. Now, hashtags. Here's what I'm going to tell you about hashtags. Okay, first, second, and third level matters on LinkedIn because if you use a hashtag and somebody's not in your first, second, or third level network, they won't be able to see your posts. And most people do not understand that. They don't even understand what I just said. Let me say it again. One of the main reasons you need to build your network is because if you're looking for hashtags to help you increase who's seeing your posts, but you have a very small network, you're not doing what you think you're doing. Use the network hashtag like innovation. 39 million people follow innovation. When you have 300 followers, guess what? 39 people will not see your post if you use the hashtag innovation. How many people will? Well, how many total first, second, and third level people do you have? Now, out of that, how many of those people follow innovation? That's how many people have an opportunity to see it in their feed. And all of those people could see it if they search for it. Make sense? Probably not. Here's an analogy to help. LinkedIn is like a filing cabinet. Every post that's made is like a sheet of paper. Hashtag is like a manila folder that takes every post that has that hashtag in it and puts it in that manila folder. However, only people in your network have access to that folder, right? Did I lose you? Your sheets of paper are written on like invisible ink to people that are outside your network. They can't even see it. But if they're in your network and they search for that content innovation, then if you posted something that has innovation in it, then they would be able to see it. And if they didn't, they wouldn't. Hopefully that makes sense. And onward we go. Finding relevant hashtags. So I made a hashtag. It's called Project Help You Grow. If you don't know why, then again, I don't know why you're here. But Project Help You Grow is my baby, right? I help job seekers find jobs. I connect job seekers to recruiters and employers. I do it all for free. I created Project Help You Grow back in 2018. Well, I just took this today. I have 35,952 followers on the hashtag Project Help You Grow. I think that's amazing, but that's still considered a micro hashtag. I wouldn't use it if it wasn't mine, honestly. Okay. So how do you find relevant hashtags? Let me show you how. Here's some for you. Okay. So remember I said innovation 39 million. Sorry, I exaggerated by 200,000. It's 38.8 million the last time I updated this list, which was a couple days ago. Okay. Management is one a lot of people don't use. I use it every day. It has 36 million followers. Digital marketing comes in actually fourth because one that's not here is India. If India is relevant to you, then that's the largest hashtag that I know of on LinkedIn at 69 million followers. Okay. It's the biggest by far. But don't use it if there's no reason to, because it will, again, if you use irrelevant hashtags, it will hurt you. It will be a boat anchor to you. You think you're doing yourself a favor, you actually will hurt yourself. So don't use them if they're not relevant to your posts, okay? Hopefully I've made that clear. Technology is 26.3 million. Future is 24.7. Entrepreneurship, make sure you spell that right, by the way. There's another one that comes up, like it comes up in the suggestion list, and it's misspelled, and there's like 200,000 followers. That's a huge difference. 22 million to 200,000 is a lot of zeros that are missing, okay? So make sure you spell it right. Careers 22.3, marketing 20.2, social media 19.7. I want to show you guys real quick how to find that. Teach a man to fish and he'll eat forever, right? So here's how you do it. Go into search, hit a hashtag symbol, and then start typing something, right? Remember I told you India is so big, right? So you do that, and then you click on India, and there it is, 68 million followers. Pardon me, I said 69, 68 million. You see how that works? Okay, and now let's do another one. Let's do marketing. So marketing is 14 million, I think. Sorry, 20 million. Okay, so there's 20 million. Now, here's one that always fascinates me. Like Project Help You Grow, I help people find jobs. So you think jobs would be this huge thing on LinkedIn, right? It's 2.5 million. That's actually relatively small. Watch this. Job interviews. Man, I misspelled it because I have jobs. Spelling matters on LinkedIn. It really does. Okay, 14 million.4. Hey, and look at that. Who's that ugly feller? Okay. A lot of people follow it. Not a lot of people use it. This is a prime one. If you're a recruiter or a job seeker, start using this hashtag, job interviews. 14.4 million. And it's, look, if you go through this, a lot of this stuff is mine, right? I'm all over this one. I use it every single day. Project Help You Grow is all about job search. So that's why I use it. Okay. Makes sense? Gosh, I hope so. Because this really is foundational for you growing. You want to grow, you've got to be seen. To be seen, you've got to give people a way to find you. Your profile's set up right, your strategy is right. That's how you get seen. If your strategy is wrong or your profile is wrong, you're wasting your time. I can only teach you what I know, what works, and I can tell you what doesn't work, and then you've got to actually apply it, which does take effort, by the way. I work harder than most people. That's not something new. I'm a workaholic. My cousin's on here. He can tell you a little bit about me. I'm crazy. Okay, pods, why I don't recommend them. And let me be very clear. I 100% do not recommend them. I actually am against them, and it's illegal to use them on LinkedIn. So don't use pods. What is a pod? A pod is basically it's a chat room with forced engagement. Usually has somewhere between 10 and 12 people right? And I've got it written down here. So it's private groups via chat rooms designed to coordinate activity engagement. Basically, it's forced engagement. You agree as a part of this chat room to comment in a certain amount of time, and every pod's got a little bit different rules, but basically the premise is you join a group of strangers and you're all going to always engage on each other's posts and start this algorithm boost. But the problem is if you get caught, LinkedIn will terminate your account. You're off LinkedIn 100%. There's no mercy. There's no 2 strikes, 3 strikes. It's 1 strike. You get caught, you're gone. And I know people have been busted, and I actually laughed at them because I told them not to. So don't do it. First of all, you cannot live with 10 people. Like a pod is false. It's false positives because you might get 30 comments in the first 10 minutes, but a lot of those comments are shallow or they're not even relevant. So when people come and they're starting to want to engage for real on your post, they're reading all this fluff crap. They're like, what is this? This is not serious. This does not make you look good as a content creator. It doesn't make you come across as an intellectual thought leader. It just makes you look like a clown. So if you want to be the clown on LinkedIn, then go ahead and be the clown on LinkedIn, but you don't need to be, right? You don't need to be that person. There's a much better way. I'm going to teach you how to be a much better LinkedIn user by following all the different things that I'm teaching you here. Now, the exact opposite of a pod is a group. And I fully endorse and recommend that you use groups, but I'm going to tell you some things about groups that hopefully will help you get the most out of them. The first thing I want you to know about a group is diversify the group types that you join. So let's say you're, again, in marketing. Don't just join marketing groups. Look for groups by region. Look for maybe some other types of activities that you're interested in, like your hobbies. For example, long before I was getting paid to make videos for individuals and for companies' marketing departments, way before then, I was just a novice video editor. I joined a group on LinkedIn for video editors, and I was just learning. It was fun, but it gave me a whole new set of people to engage with. And these are people that are in Hollywood making their living this way, right? So it's actually, I owe some of my success to this particular group of people. But join different groups, because again, remember what I said about joining, like, Gary V or Kirsty Vaughn or Ira. You want to be seen by different sets of people. Groups allow you to diversify and meet new people. The other thing that I want to tell you is there is a limit. There's a limit of 50. So you have to be a little bit selective when you're joining groups, right? Like if you're one of these guys that you see a list of groups and it's join, there is a limit. It's 50. Now, a typical group on LinkedIn is relatively small. It's between 100 and 1,000 people, but I really don't want you to join those groups because I'm trying to teach you how to grow. I want to put you in front of as many people as I can. I want you to join groups that have thousands, tens of thousands of people. So like Project Help You Grow has a group. It's 4,100 members right now. That's pretty good. Still on the small side, but good. I joined like some marketing groups that have 700,000 people. If you can find a group with 10,000 people or more, that's a good one to consider, right? So, but look for those that have lots of zeros. In this case, quantity does matter because it's more exposure. And here's a pro tip that's not in the slides. When you join a group, say you're a third level connection to me and you don't have LinkedIn Premium and you can't send me a direct mail. If you're in the same group as me, if you go through the group membership list, find me in there, then if you scroll over to the right, one of the things you can do is send me a direct message. And you can send me a direct message only that way. If you go to my profile and try to hit message, it'll tell you can't. But if you go through the group directory and then find my name and then hit message, now you can message me. So there's a hack. I have a video on that on YouTube, by the way, if you want to watch me do that. Go to Ira Bowman channel, youtube.com, and you can find it. Again, if you don't want to search, then just send me an email and and I'll help you with that. Okay. Thousands of sanctions groups on LinkedIn to choose from. Find ones that fit your interests, your region, but again, diversify and find large ones. Okay. Now, another thing about groups that I do need to mention, remember I was talking about if you make a post on your main page, your profile, you know, like follow me Friday starts now. And then I go to Project Help You Grow's group page and I make, hey, follow me Friday, just started, jump over. That will actually kill the post that I made on my page. It'll suppress it. You know, LinkedIn beach ball's dead, right? So what you want to do is, here's your order of operations. Again, there's no slide for this. I hope you're taking notes. Order of operations. Go to your group pages and make posts. And by the way, the LinkedIn algorithm doesn't work the same on posts as it does in groups. So all the stuff I said, no links, no videos, ignore all that. Use all that stuff in your messages on groups, because what it does is it just goes what's called FIFO, right? So the first one in is in, and then the next one in, it comes on top of it. And then the next one in comes in on top of that. And eventually your post just gets pushed down like that. But there is no like algorithm to, well, I'm going to show, you know, these ones because I think they're the most interesting. Group pages don't work that way. So you can put your native videos, you can put your YouTube links, you can put your, you know, URLs to your website, pictures, all that stuff in groups. Knock yourself out. You don't have to worry about the algorithm at all. Now, once you make all your posts, so you're up to 50 groups, you can go and make up to 50 posts. I suggest you use all of them. Why wouldn't you? You want to be seen. Every time before you make a post to update your post, you want to go to all your groups and make a post. Every single group. Okay? Now, go into your profile, make your post, boom, you're set. What you're going to do now is for the next 60 minutes, you're going to go live and interact with every single person who makes a comment on your post. And what are you going to do? You're going to use an open-ended question. I don't see anybody doing that. Everybody should. Nobody does. Why an open-ended question? Again, another golden tip that's not in the slide deck. But open-ended questions beg for a response. And you're not looking for yes, no answers. You're looking for conversations. So again, get those things going. As Peter Hammer just said in the comments, keeps the comments rolling. It invites activity. And by the way, every time I make a post, I'm the first person to make a comment. I like my posts and I comment on my posts. And it was weird when I figured that out. But LinkedIn actually, it's called initial response rate. They measure the distance from the time the post is submitted to the time the first engagement happens and the time the first comment happens. But they don't measure who makes it. So you can win the battle by doing it yourself, and darn it, do it. I know a lot of you think that's arrogant or stupid or whatever, but you're spiting your nose, right? So stop it. You make a post, you hit the like button, and then you make a comment, and do it as fast as you can. Now, the other thing that you should do there when you're making your posts and you're doing your comments and all that stuff is if you have like a business page, you need to be tagging yourself and your business in your posts stuff to give yourself more exposure. And then when you're making your comments, you need to comment with your business page too. That's why Project Help You Grow has 17,000 followers on the business page now. You know, most businesses, like the business that I was just furloughed from, they have 8,000 followers, but they're in 170 brick and mortar buildings in the United States with tens of thousands of employees. But one Project Help You Grow one-man band has 17,000 because I used the business page the correct way. That's not in this class. There'll be another class for that, but that's some free tips. Okay. So now let me get into the smart tags and hashtags. A lot of times I tell people smart tag and they don't know what I'm talking about. In fact, full transparency, I think my cousin actually just asked me about this the other day. So it happens, right? It happens to everybody. Okay. So this little @ symbol, and then you start typing the name. And what happens is you're going to start to see a drop-down list, and you're going to pick the person from the list. Their name will be in blue when you make the post if you do it right. If you don't do it right and their name's not blue, you got to go in and edit the post and redo it. But it has to be the @ symbol, and then you start typing the name until you see the person that you want, and then you actually have to pick that name from the drop list. Okay, that's how you know you did it right. Smart tags. Here's an example, right? Can you guys read that? Is that big enough? Make sure you guys can read that, right? You got to have the @ symbol. Once smart tagged a person, now here's why you do it. Smart tags are inviting people that you know to the conversation to participate. I got Erica Warfield on here. She's one of my good friends from Social Media Concierge on the call. I smart tag Erica sometimes, not all the time, but I smart tag her. A lot of times when I'm talking about this Social Media Concierge, I'll smart tag her. Now, what that does is it sends Erica a notification that she's been smart tagged. That's cool. But now also, every time somebody comments on the post, she's going to get another notification. So if you want to get people's attention, smart tag them. But the warning is, and here's the thing, that this is relatively new. It's something new. LinkedIn is constantly changing their algorithm properties. And here's one of the new property changes. If I smart tag Erica and she doesn't respond, the next time I smart tag her, if she doesn't respond again, the algorithm will suppress me. It will not suppress me the first time. It will suppress me the subsequent times until I smart tag her and she comments. So here's what you have to do. You have to pay attention to who you're smart tagging. Keep a list. I smart tagged Ira. He never came and commented on my post. You know what I'm not going to do next time I post? I'm not going to smart tag Ira again. Because if I do, that's a negative score. Now that's a little bit out there, and hopefully you guys understand what I just said. I don't see any questions on that, so there we go. Okay, smart tags bring people to the conversation. How do you maximize your smart tags? Here's how you do it. Smart tags are it's one of the most powerful tools. In fact, I'm going to tell you, it is the most powerful accelerant on LinkedIn. There is nothing on LinkedIn you can do to increase your engagement more than smart tags in your post, not in your comments. Most people are doing this wrong. They're pissing people off and they don't even realize it. The comment stuff is irritating. It doesn't have the juice that in the actual post. If I'm going to smart tag you, I'm not smart tagging you in comments. I'm only smart tagging you in my post. Okay. So smart tags are it's the most powerful tool in the arsenal. So if you want to add some like fire starter, that's fire starter, right? It helps you build your audience fast and can build momentum. Again, you just have to keep in mind, sharing is a little bit different. We'll get into sharing in a minute. I don't actually ever share posts. Like when I say ever, I mean like hardly ever. Like I probably share 1 or 2 posts a year. If I'm going to share a post, what I do is I copy the post and I create a new post and I paste it. And then I smart tag the person who wrote. And it's basically like I'm giving them credit for writing it. I'll say, as shared by, Anthony Norman or whatever. You know what I mean? So that's how you do it. Because if you share a post, what it does is it promotes the author, the original creator, as a content thought leader, which is great. And people like me who get, every single post I make gets shared by somebody. I'm very thankful for it. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you can't win favor from people, but if you're trying to build your network, that's not how you build it. Okay. So you build it by being seen as a thought leader yourself. So you would take somebody's cool content that you want to share, you copy it, you make a new post, you paste it in there and you say, as shared by Ira Bowman. And then I get tagged, you get credit, everybody wins. All good. Okay. Now, the problem with smart tags is it can irritate people too. So here's what you do. Every once in a while, make a post. This is actually a brilliant way to come up with fresh content, get people's permission, and find out the people that you're pissing off all at the same time. Create a post. Just find a picture of something with a tag on it, or go to Canva and edit a picture with a tag, like a label, and make a post and say, do you want to be smart tagged in my posts? Right? And then watch what your friends say. Some of them are going to be like, hell yeah, I want to be tagged in everything. Please, please. They'll beg you to do it. And then other people say, you know what? I really don't want to be tagged. Not to be rude, but I don't want to be tagged. And then you'll know. Now what I want you to do is I want you to create like a Word doc or an Excel doc or something. and put the people in it that want to be tagged. Now, if you're really smart, what you're going to do is you're going to save a hyperlink, but that's another class. Okay. So do all that. You might want to also categorize what they do. So some are in sales, some are job seekers, some are content creators, blah, 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 whatever it is they do. So that way, when you're making a post, here's why. When you make a post, you don't want to have like 50 people in the smart tags. That's too many. You want to have somewhere between like 5 to 10. So you want to have a rotation. If you're going to do that, you might as well make sure the post kind of matches who you're smart tagging, right? So you're smart tagging, engineers like Peter Hammer. Okay, I'm gonna put him in because he's an engineer. Oh, I'm gonna do business analyst stuff. I'm gonna do financial stuff. I'm gonna put Anthony Norman. I want to do copywriting stuff. I'm gonna put in Erica Warfield. I want to do credit stuff. I might put in Tina Oliver or Joseph Stepke, or you know what I mean? Like you're gonna match the smart tagged folks to the content of the post, very much like you're going to do with the hashtags. Okay. Only smart tag with permission. Again, you could do it one time and get away with it because no one's going to be irritated by that. But if you start look, I get tagged 1,000 times a day. Nobody ever asks me. I'm just going to be honest. So if you smart tag me in your post and you didn't ask me if you could, you're probably not going to get a response from me. Again, my notifications are broken. So unless I've taught you how to get my attention on LinkedIn, you're probably not going to get it anyways. But the fact is, I might still see it and I still might not respond to it because I don't want to be involved in that conversation. It's something I don't agree with. It's something I don't support. I have to be careful about my reputation too. We all do. This is business. This isn't, just Ira and Joe talking about Batman all the time. Although with Joe, I will because he is one of my best friends. Love that guy. Even though Superman rules and Batman rules. Sorry, had to do it. Okay, smart tag limit 5 to 10. Don't overdo it, right? If I'm going to put Joe Stepke, Erica Warfield, Russ Johns, Virginia, Karnowski. I know that's right. I think that's right. Karnowski. Love that lady. She's going to kick my butt if I'm wrong. Anyways, and who am I missing? Rob Defert. Did I say that? Erica Warfield. I think I said them all. Anyways, that's my social media concierge team. That's all I'm going to tag because that's 6 people. You know what I mean? Russ Johns. Love Russ Johns. Thought I said him too, but anyways. Yeah, Russ Johns. Okay. So all those people. No, that's it. I'm at 5. You know what I mean? Plus me. Okay. So this is kind of the summary. I know I've gone over and I apologize. Typically if I tell you it's going to be an hour, it's going to be an hour. But I wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything because all that stuff is important. So this is now review. Okay. And I'm about to open it up for questions. So just be careful because in a minute, I'm going to unmute all of you. So you'll have hot mics. Okay. But here it is. So to grow, make sure you have opened up your security settings so that everybody in the world can see you. They can see your picture. They can see your content. Open it up. Okay. Set your profile photo and cover photos as instructed. Again, shoulders up, looking straight at the camera. I'm smiling. I've got a professional outfit on. My background is nothing that would be, considered unprofessional, and you're good to go. Your cover photo, go look at Anthony Norman's cover photo. It's perfect. It's the picture of his town, and it's got, I think, 4 power words selling, what he does, right? Or look at mine if you want, but Anthony's more handsome feller than I am. Okay. Spend some time every day commenting on posts. Here's my recommendation. It's an 80-20 rule. 80% of the time, you're going to be making comments. 20% of the time, you're going to be in groups or on your profile making a post. Always start with the groups and make all your posts in every group first. Then go to your profile and make your post on your profile. And then for 60 minutes, you've got to babysit that sucker. If you don't have 60 minutes to do that, then you need to not do a post until you have time to babysit it for an hour. Trust me, it's worth it. Post every 3rd day. Post once a week. Do it my way. You'll get more out of it than posting every day doing it your way. I promise you. Okay? I cannot figure out a better way to say it than this. Always be nice. Nothing nice to say, don't say it. Period. Like we were taught in elementary school. Groups, join industry, region, and topical groups that interest you. Try to diversify, but make sure that, it is something that you're interested in. Okay. How to excel. Spend 80% of your time on LinkedIn commenting on posts and replying to comments. I've already mentioned that, but this is how you excel. Don't over or under post, but post something daily if you can. Again, you've got to have that hour. So if you don't have that hour, I would tell you how I do it, but I don't want to give away all my secrets. Some of them are smelly. All right. Be sure to set up your posts in clean and inviting ways. In other words, follow my rules of how to build a post. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you are from the Arctic, heck yeah. Oh, wait. Somebody said loving it. New Zealand count as tropical. Did I make it tropical? Did I say tropical somewhere? I thought I said topical. Did I have a typo? Is that your way of picking on me? Did I make a mistake? What did I say? That says topical, not tropical. New Zealand would be topical, tropical to me though. I don't know. New Zealand's like the bee's knees, man. All right. Make sure you set up your post. Okay, so again, right? Like title, space, subtitle, space, body or bullet points, space, call to action or question, space, hashtag, not hashtag, smart tags, space, and then hashtags, and then you're out. Can you picture all that? I hope you can. Gosh, this is me. Ugh. I wish I was better looking. I didn't get better looking. So I'm going to unmute you all so I can hear you all. Just want to make sure you know. Okay. So if you have a question, this is open forum now. You guys can ask questions. And while you're doing that, if you don't have my contact information, these are my two websites, irabowman.com and projecthelpyougrow.com. Now, it is important to note in irabowman.com, there's no S. It's not a secure site. I don't deal in personal information there, so I didn't pay the extra money to have it be a secure site. So Project Help You Grow, I do allow people to load their resumes and confidential information. So I made that a secure site. Anyways, any questions? Did I overwhelm everybody, or does anybody have a question?
I heard a lot of great stuff today.
Thank you. Who is that? I'm sorry, I didn't see who.
Lynn.
Lynn, awesome, and I'm glad you were able to make it. And yes, you can have the slides. By the way, you asked me that. You can have the slides. You guys can have the video. You paid the money. So normally I would do this. It'd be a one-on-one class, and I would give you the video. Every one of my coaching sessions, you get the video with it. It's part of the value add, because you can then. I don't think anybody would ever watch it completely over, but you can use it as a resource and go, I know we covered smart tags, and find that part and watch it. But thank you for the feedback.
Hey, Ira.
Yep. Batman.
Yeah, thank you.
I know.
Superman. I do have a question, and maybe I missed it. How many hashtags is too many? How many is...
So you kind of have to look at this visually for it to make sense. But the hard and fast rule that I use is 5 to 10. I don't want to use less than 5. I don't want to use more than 10, but sometimes I do cheat a little bit. So here's what I would tell you. Part of it is a visual block. So when you're creating your post, what you really don't want to have is 3 rows of hashtags. You want to have 2. So if you're using hashtag win and hashtag Ira and KB, those are kind of smaller, in length. You could get away with a couple more. So 12, 13 would be okay. But if you make your post and you see oh crap, it's 4 rows of hashtags, you got to go in there and eliminate some. I will tell you this. The first 3 are the most important. And I didn't cover that in the slide. Right. So I'm glad you asked. So
and when you said, you were talking about with the hashtags, the spam part, when you're saying if nobody's interacting, and I think I've noticed somewhat, because remember I used to do hashtag LinkedIn on most of my posts, and I've always been trending. Well, then I haven't seen the trend in a while.
Yeah, so that's good. If you're getting the trending, that's all that really does is verify okay, LinkedIn has recognized you are one of the most engaged posts on that hashtag. That's what it really means. It doesn't mean anything. In fact, a lot of times when you get the trending, it's actually dead already. So it's it tells you 3 days later, hey, you're trending, and you get excited and you make a comment, hey, we're trending, it's awesome. And then you might notice you get no more views and no more comments. It's over. But it doesn't mean it's not something to be excited about. Just know that, hey, you did a good job with that hashtag match. Marrying that hashtag to that post did work for you. So in the future, when you have that content, use that hashtag again, right?
Right.
Hopefully that makes sense.
Yes, it does.
So let me give you guys this point. It wasn't part of the class, but you know, I can't share everything I know in an hour. I couldn't even do this in an hour, and I tried. But hashtags, you want to use the biggest hashtags first. So like when you let me show you mine. Okay. I love showing people what I do because then you can see I'm not a hypocrite. And by the way, this is Friday Night Lights. If you guys aren't part of this, it's a way to grow right now. You can get in on that. She does it every Friday, just like I do Follow Me Friday. So I do Follow Me Friday in the morning, and she does Follow Me or Friday Night Lights in the evening. That's how that works, just in case you're curious. Okay. So hashtags. I want to use the biggest 3 hashtags first. Now, I don't always put the biggest one first because I would have put innovation here. I do try to mix up this order a little bit, but I always try to use my 3 largest there. And then from 4 on, it doesn't matter because this is your algorithm booster. Okay, so these 3 are the ones that LinkedIn's going to pay the most attention to. These ones are less, but still, if I get no traction on these next time, it will. If I use the same one, and it will start out with suppression. Okay, but see how there's 2 rows. Now let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like most people, as they see what I do all the time and they don't even pay attention to it. Pay attention to what I do, right? Pay attention to what people that are doing well do. And sometimes you can pick up stuff just by observation. This headline, this is my subtitle. It's just supporting that, you know, for 60 minutes, it's only $20. And you guys will spend more on fast food probably than you spend on my class. And this will teach you a lot more than the fast food will help you, you know, sustain you, right? Okay, so I have a hashtag here. Now, this counts as my first hashtag. So when I came down here and I counted 10 and I counted these 3, I actually made a mistake because this is here. Now I do Follow Me Friday every week and I get usually thousands of people who come and engage. So it won't hurt me because I've built up the following. But realistically, this human resources is 33 million followers. Follow Me is pittance into that, right? So it did cost me some exposure, but that's okay because I'm building this up. In the lesson, I didn't teach about micro sites, micro hashtags. But micro hashtags are ones that you use from scratch or that, you know, have small followings. Like for example, I use Let's Grow Together and I use I'm Here to Help. And I wasn't necessarily the first person to use those. There was a few followers or something, maybe 100 or 50 or whatever, but I adopted them as my own and I use them all the time. Now I always will put those at the end. Let's Grow Together, Project Help You Grow, Ira. Like you'll see this happen a lot. Now I do oscillate Let's Grow Together and I'm Here to Help. I typically will interchange those, and then you'll typically see Project Help You Grow, and then I almost always end with Ira. That's me. So for like Joe, the finance guy, I would use Joe, the finance guy, or Erica Warfield, or Peter Warhammer, something like that.
That is hilarious. I wanted to use it yesterday.
Just wanted to see if anybody was paying attention. Okay.
There was.
So now here's the other thing that I've started doing, and you guys, when you get to business pages, and if you own a business, right, you should make a business page on LinkedIn. It's totally free and it's underutilized, but I use mine, right? Now you see how when I hover over these, how it shows me the name? That's how you can tell if it's a smart tag or a hashtag, by the way. If you hover and you don't see, it's not showing me because it's me, right? It's a little thing, but anybody else it would have. But see how that says social media concierge? Even though concierge is not blue, that's an active smart tag. And that's a good thing. But because I've tagged it, I have to use social media concierge. I have to come in and comment, or next time I do that, it would actually penalize me, right? So Project Help You Grow. But the reason why I do this is because I want to build my followers on those other pages. Like how many people here on this call have less than 3,500 connections and followers total? You know what I mean? Like I have a larger coaching business following than a lot of you guys have individual pages. And look at my Project Help You Grow. This is something that most businesses fall out of their chair when they see this. In fact, I had a lady telling me how good she was at social media for her business the other day. And she had 379 business followers. And I was like, she was trying to say, well, you're good at, 150,000 is awesome, but I'm really good at this, at, the business side of it. And I said, that's interesting. I didn't call her out. I just said, wow, that's what's really good, I guess. But let me show you, you guys can do this. Like Social Media Concierge, we created this page like 6 weeks, 7 weeks, 8 weeks. I don't know, something like that. It hasn't been around that long. It's already got 600 followers. I can teach you guys how to build your stuff up really fast is what I'm saying. You just have to use all these things I've taught you. So it's 6:30, which means I'm 30 minutes over. So unless you guys have questions, I am going to end it now. And again, if you want the video, if you want the slides, I'm more than happy to share. I do ask, of course, that you do not share them with anybody else. You guys paid money for this. It's not fair to me or to you if you share them freely. So please don't do that. I'm not going to sue you probably, but it just wouldn't be nice. And I won't if I find out you did it, then I won't, work with you anymore because integrity matters. But anyways, I will share them freely with you. I won't charge you anything. There won't be any cost or whatever. The video will live on YouTube. It'll be a private link. So, you'll have to save the URL and go on, and then you'll have to have a password. And I'll give you the password once I create the password. I haven't created it yet. But anyways, I will share it with you. So if you want that, just let me know. If you have any questions or you think of a question later, you can ask me the question. I won't guarantee that I'll answer it because it's the program's over, but I'm usually pretty nice and willing to share. So with that, I thank you very much. This was the first time I've done anything like this over the internet. I've taught a class like this in person before in San Francisco, and I coach like this all the time. But this is the first time I did it with a group. I think it went really well. As far as I know, the internet was able to keep up with us. We didn't have any snafus or hiccups or freezes or anything like that. The pages were hard to see, so I'll work on making smaller pages with bigger font next time. So thank you for that feedback. And anything else that you could think of that I could do to improve, and I would really appreciate it. I'm always trying to get better, and I hope you are too. So any questions before I go? Everybody but Brent is off mute. So if you have anything, no? All right, well, my name's Ira Bowman. Thank y'all so much. It's been my pleasure having you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ira.
Thank you, Ira.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.